It's really exciting to do this review by the sweet Foragers Tarot. This would have to be one of the most interesting concepts of tarot that I've come across, because the story is from the Fool's perspective. There's a little box. The cards aren't huge. They're slimline, slimline news. This is the box here, the reverse of the box, the inside of the box. The siding of the cards has got that beautiful lime green. I'm a big one with guidebooks. I'm a big one about learning definitely the many different layers of tarot. And this guidebook definitely gives you a very smart perspective, because the guidebook comes from the Fool's perspective by their own journal. So when you read the guidebook with the card that you pull, it's like you're transported and you're standing there. So the Fool starts off leaving their little mushroom home. I haven't got the cards in order when I'm showing them to you. This is the guidebook, as I said. It is brilliant. Oh my goodness. Just buy it for the bloody guidebook. Honestly, it's got the suits. The suits are described as wands, daggers, cups and crystals. So it's quite cute, but just genius. You've got a full page and a half for each card. The major arcana also has spreads, so you'll see when I flip back, there's like little purple things down the bottom. That's sample spreads that you can do. It is genius. You've got keywords there for each card. Really, yeah, I'm blown away. I used this in the live last night. The live is on I'll put the link up here. But it's just fantastic. Sam Rook, this is my first deck of hers. She's an artist, she's a designer, she's an illustrator. She lives on Rhode Island, and just genius. And I really love when an artist puts together a tarot book and they understand tarot, because I learn more from it. With each deck that I purchase or buy, I'm very selective now. I just don't rush out now and purchase guidebooks, tarot decks. I actually stop and wait, and I have to know, what is the guidebook like? And unfortunately for a lot of reviews, a lot of people don't discuss the guidebook, and for me that's a real major reason why I purchase. So if you do reviews and you're not showing the guidebook, please change your reviews. So it is a genius. I want to talk about a few of the cards. I might pause it as we go along. That's the Three of Swords there. Now I want to pause it right here. So with tarot, you start with the Fool, and then you move towards the Magician. And this is what we've got here, card number 1, the Magician. And when we read the guidebook, it says, "I was no more than 10 feet out of my little grove and into the forest when I heard a soft humming and the flutter of wings and spotted a sweet little old fairy preparing a potion." So this is what I'm talking about. It is actually talking about the Fool's journey. So if you don't know the Fool's journey, this complete tarot deck will take you on it, immerse you in it, and make you feel like you're becoming part of the story, that you are actually the Fool. I will continue to flip through the cards. I'll put them up on the screen as I do that. So each card does represent an encounter, that the Fool wanders across something or somebody. And the deck itself is designed to help you get in touch with your intuition, as it not only describes the card and the story, but it also has the keywords. And with tarot, sometimes you have to pull just more than one card. I like to pull one card, and then I like to pull 3 cards. I don't know why I never pull 2 cards, but sometimes when I need more clarifications, you might see me pull an extra one. But I try and really dive deep and take my time with reading tarot and the cards as they pop up in readings. It's a very bright deck. It is a very positive deck. It is a deck that brings about many layers of the tarot story where you can learn. It really allows you to build on your intuition, simply because I believe, or I feel, that the cards and the story that's in the booklet or the guidebook allows you to imagine that you're standing there, and what would you feel, what would you think, what have you gone through? So it brings up many questions and emotions as you work through this deck. Now, I didn't know how I'd go working with a deck this small for my hands, but it's brilliant. Personally, I'm a big one as well now, knowing that I'm decluttering and getting rid of so many cards. I don't like purchasing massive decks. I love to shuffle. That to me is part of the process of grounding, clearing your mind. There's the Fool there, starting its journey. So it's just brilliant. There's the Lovers there. The Lovers of this card deck was really interesting. It brought about the dark side of the lover and the bright side of the lover, about how we can be misled by being, I guess, engrossed in appearances. And sometimes there's the devil there. That will come up at the end. I'll show you some readings. But also, too, the colour scheme. I didn't know how I'd vibe with it, and I really love it. Personally, I'm one that likes realness to a tarot deck. And I really love these pinks, mauves, pastel colours. I'm really enjoying it. I actually also got the other deck, or I think she's done a few, but I've got another deck of hers. Haven't used it yet. I really want to dig deeper with this one. That card there came across with a really cute message for me. But yeah, I just feel like give this deck, it's very well priced. For me, I got it for $20 at the Body, Mind and Spirit Festival. I see currently, I think it's about $18, $19 on Amazon. Again, I'll put the link in the description box below for you all. But yeah, I cannot talk badly about this deck because I've had such a fantastic introduction to it. Sometimes you pick up a deck and you just can't feel it, or you can't get the message. Well, this deck didn't do that for me. When I read the guidebook, I went, oh, I feel like I'm being part of this story. And then I realised, because I'm a great one, you open it and you just read with it. And then I realised, aha, you are supposed to be part of this story. You are the Fool. You are in this story. So you're becoming part of this story. So it's quite exciting. That came up in a reading. I think I'll put a few cards at the end. That also came up in a reading. So yeah, nice vibe with deck. I like it. So far, it's pretty spot on with readings. But a lot of the readings that I did last evening was about healing, how far people have come, the lessons they learned. Also, too, one was about, if they don't do something, they'll miss out on a opportunity. So I think I'll talk about that at the end. I'll pull up some cards. So interesting deck. What do you think of it so far? Love this one. Also love that one. That came up in a few readings as well, about a girl working hard. She puts out the fires. She's quite persistent, resilient at work. Does this not remind you of My Little Pony? The colours definitely do. Definitely do that. That card reminds me of my dad, actually. He's quite a big man there. So very interesting deck. I hope that you enjoy it as much as I do if you decide or choose to purchase it. But again, if you give reviews, talk about the guidebook. I love hearing about the guidebook. I love knowing about the guidebook, what you've learnt from the guidebook, how you're reading with the cards. For me, that's a really important for me to know about the guidebook, because it's a priority for me, because I read by the guidebook. Anyway, that's just me. So let me put up some cards for you. So here we have the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands is all about celebrations, parties, homecoming. And I also got this with the Devil. So I knew with this reading here intuitively that the mother was helping her daughter clean up after her drug use, partying, drinking, and it was really talking about you shouldn't be doing that any longer. That was the main part of the reading. So that's how I read the Four of Wands here, and isn't the colour scheme brilliant? So that was part of the reading intuitively, and it was spot on. I think I read it with also too the Queen of Cups. So that's one card reading there. And interestingly enough, this card reading, you've got the nostalgia, you've got the magician, and you've got the male there. I read this card that someone needs to put effort in to see their child. Somebody needs to put effort in to see their child, because they'll really regret it, and now's the time to do that. They're complaining, they're not putting the effort in, they need to do it. And I was really focused on that card in the centre with the magician with the cat. And that was basically, you're going to end up alone just with pets. So put the extra effort in now with your children. So interesting, you know, some of these messages sometimes that you get with readings, so interesting. Love the take of the Death card. Isn't it bright and funky? So this is my review of this deck. Let me know if you're purchasing it. Let me know if you're using it. Let me know what you think about this deck. I'd be really interested to know. Ask me questions galore. Let me know any questions that you have so I can add them to any future reviews. So I hope you enjoy this deck if you choose to purchase it. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It helps my channel.